Working for small companies that had great ideas, huge plans, high ambitions to really get ahead. Working with those guys and actually coming up against the barriers of apathy, people not buying their products, struggling to actually reach out and get into their markets they wanted to go into. It's a business philosophy, I guess, that started to evolve, which is actually to back up a small idea, you need some scale.
It is challenging doing business from this part of the world. In the businesses we're in specialist markets, we're in high performance technology. There's not a lot of value in us attending the big technology fairs in the United States or in Europe. I mean, you need to be smarter about how you market than that when you're coming from a small company and you're in specialist markets.
And whether that's in a distributing channel or whether that be in the ability to quickly build something and get it in front of a market quickly, because business doesn't actually give you the time to have the luxury of years and years of developing this stuff. It's something that frustrated the heck out of me, to be honest.
So it is about, if you're coming from New Zealand, you're trying to get into these markets, it's about finding a different way. You can't play the same game as the big brands.
I worked for a number of one-man bands. I was the chief engineer, chief technology officer, developer and general gopher, and that was great, but it didn't go anywhere. And that's probably where, from a business perspective, I gravitated towards saying, well, hang on a minute, I'm going to attach myself into organisations that bring scale, and then I'm actually going to try and do something with that.
There's different social media that you can use in terms of your marketing, and there's different ways to connect with customers. There's different propositions you can put into the market that will enable you to act big, but always remember that you're small and be agile, and I think that's something that we do very well.
Unless there's a mindset that says, we're not just going to sell 10 of these, but we're going to sell 1,000 of them or 100,000 of them. I shudder to think how many air miles have been clocked up by folks here in New Zealand that have had some great ideas and just simply haven't identified that channel to market.
One of the challenges, though, is in the software sector is just you need a certain level of scale to get a channel to market and to get the attention of large customers, and that is a challenge.
In New Zealand, because we're so small, we could partner a lot more and actually leverage our partnerships a lot more to get that out there. I mean, HP does a lot of partnering. I mean, historically, we've been a real channel to offshore markets.
Collaboration, and that's where I think our thinking at Jade now is that open innovation is the way to go in terms of software in New Zealand. So how do we work together? How do we share the intellectual property, nurture it, build on it, and find channels to market for those good ideas?